So, okay, better. It's on. Good morning. Welcome to today's edition of Trigonometry, and let's pay attention as we go through. The previous lesson, we tried to talk about the cosine rule and area. That was part 2. Cosine rule and area. Now, we said cosine rule deals with the comparison over the length of the side with the cos of that corresponding angle. Okay? We said that with cosine rule, we are doing some comparison by saying the length of this side should be compared with the cos of that angle, right? And we said that cosine rule, the features of the triangle is side, angle, side, consecutively. Okay? As you can see here, side, angle, side. Okay? Meaning that the given length, for example, the given length, the angle, and the given length. Okay? That's what we said in cosine rule. We said that when we are given a side, the length of the side, the size of an angle, and the length of the side, then we can find the length of the missing side. Okay? We say that we only need 3 things. 2 sides with an angle will help us find the 3rd side. Alternatively, if you have 3 sides, then you'll be required to find the angle. So in cosine rule, in summary, we said there should always be 2 sides and an angle to find the missing length, or there should be 3 sides given in order for you to find the size of a particular angle of interest. That's what we said. Further, we talked about area of a triangle. We said the same feature of this triangle, or the same characteristics of this triangle, can also help us to find the area of a non-right angle triangle or a scaling triangle. And we said that the formula for area is simply half side A, side B, sine theta, like that. So we say that the same type of a triangle, side, angle, side, can help us find the area of a triangle. Now today, my interest is not on this. My interest today is on sine rule. Sine rule. I'm going to pair sine rule again with area. Sine rule with area. Now, the sine rule under trigonometry deals with the relationship that is between the side and the sine of the corresponding angle. So we are dealing with the relationship that is there between the length and the sine of a corresponding angle. What do I mean? What I mean is this. If this angle is 15 meters, then we need to compare it with the sine of this particular angle. Okay? What I mean is the sides, the length 15 should be compared with the sine of this particular angle. Now, the length compared to or compared with the sine of this particular angle. That's what sine rule is all about. You are comparing the length of a particular angle with the size, okay, of a particular angle in a sine form. I'm saying, if you have an angle here as 61, it is going to be compared with a side which is this side. So we are saying sine of this angle compared to the length of this particular side. That's basically what we are going to be doing. Now, again, we are going to be dealing with two things. We shall look at how to calculate the length of a side. And then we shall proceed and look at how to calculate the size of an angle. Two things. Number one, how to calculate the length of a particular side. Okay. Number two, how to find the size of an angle. So to kickstart, we shall begin with calculating the length. Calculating the length of a side. Okay. Now, I want you to take note of one thing here. If we have a triangle ABC, okay, and then we call this one as side A, this one side C, and this one side B, then to find the relationship or to show the relationship of the side to an angle, it will be side A over sine angle A should be equal to side B over sine angle B. Similarly, side C should be equal to over sine C. So it is sine A over the sine angle A equal to sine B over side B over sine B equal to side C over sine C. So we are simply comparing the size, the length, with the sine of the corresponding angle. The length with the sine of this corresponding angle. The side with the size under sine of the corresponding angle. So basically this is what we are going to be doing under sine rule. Comparing the length of a side to the sine of its corresponding angle. Let's look at this. Let's say this is 58 degrees and we are told this is 15 meters. Let's say this is 61 degrees and then we want to find the side x. So when you are given this, you are going to observe that each of the sides have a corresponding angle. Look at this. 15 is corresponding with the sine angle 58. 15 is corresponding with this angle. Whilst the side named x is corresponding with the sine, this angle. Okay? Once you pair them correctly, all you need to do is to cross multiply. All you need to do is to cross multiply. So you cross multiply. Remember, when cross multiplying, you always start with this one on top. So it will be 15 sine 61 is equal to x sine 58. Okay? So we are interested in x, so we are going to get rid of sine 58 on the right hand side. We'll do the same on the left hand side. That way. So that our x now, all you need to do is to punch this on your calculator directly. No need to hustle. So we say 15 sine 61 divided by sine 58. 58. That way. So when you punch, you are going to find that our length is going to be 15.46999005. That way. Then since you are dealing with length, we are going to leave our answer correct to 3 significant figures, 3 digits. So our answer will be 15.5 meters, like that. So basically, this is what we do when we are dealing with sine rule. We are saying each side must have a corresponding angle. For you to deal with sine, you need to identify that each side has a corresponding angle. Okay? Now, let us look at some more examples. Calculate the length of the side. Let me say marked X. Okay? What if I have something like this? I have an angle of 106 here. Let me say here I have 19 meters. I have another angle here, 52. And then I want to find the length here, the side marked X. Okay? The same process. I'm going to identify a side with its corresponding angle. Compare it. So I'm going to start with the side that is complete. 19, compare it with the sine 106. Okay? Equal to the side X, compare it again with the sine 52. So, once you do that, then you cross multiply, starting from the major diagonal. So it will be 19 sine 52 is equal to X sine 106. Okay? Then we get rid of sine 106 on the right hand side, so that we remain with X. We shall do the same on the left hand side. That way. Then when you reach this stage, we know that this will end up as Kx. So we are going to punch on our calculator 19 sine 52 divided by sine 106. Okay? And my answer here will be, let me write it this way, X is going to be 15.5775 57, then 55, 7571. So our length, side marked X, is going to be 15.6 meters, like that. Sine rule. Sine rule. This is not difficult. The key I'm emphasizing is that when you are dealing with sine rule, make sure that you identify that each of the sides given. Make sure you identify that each of the sides given have a corresponding angle. Okay? Each of the sides given must have a corresponding angle. As you can see, this side is corresponding with this angle. This side is corresponding with this angle. Always identify. Whenever you find such a situation, a non-right angle triangle, and then you are asked to find a missing side or an angle, and when you look at the feature of that triangle, it's showing that each side and an angle are corresponding, a side with an angle are corresponding. Just know that you are basically dealing with sine rule. Now, it's not always direct, as you may think. At times, the information can be hidden, like in this situation. Let me give you, let me say 72 degrees. And here, I will say 53. Then I will say this angle is 13.5 meters. Then I'll talk about this. Okay. X. Okay. Look at this one. The last one for length. Okay. The same concept is going to apply. This side is corresponding with this angle, and this side is corresponding with this angle. Then sine rule can work there. Okay? So this is going to be 13.5 over sine 53, which is equal to side x over sine 72. Then we cross multiply, starting with the major diagonal. 13.5 sine 72 is equal to x sine 53. Now look at how I'm arranging my numbers. Look at how I'm arranging my expression. I am starting with the side, then the sine. Side, then the sine. Side, then the sine. Okay? So, divide by sine 53. Divide by sine 53. So my x here is going to be, I'm going to punch this on the calculator and say 13.5 sine 72 divided by sine 53. And my answer is 16.07 649.899. So with this, we are going to say, correct to three significant figures is up to this point, it will be 16.1 meters, like that. Okay, so this is how we calculate the length of a side. The length of a side. Now let us quickly move to how we can calculate the length, the size of an angle. The size of an angle. The size of an angle. Now, for the size of the angle, the procedure is still the same. For the size of an angle, the procedure is still the same. Only that we are going to have one extra step of what we are going to do. Okay? One extra step of what we are going to do. Let's talk about this one. Let's say calculate the size of the angle marked with a letter X, a letter Y. Let me do with Y this time around. Let's say we have a triangle. Okay? And in this triangle, we have an angle of 61 and an angle Y. Then we have the lengths 18 meters and 16 meters. How do we find this kind of an angle? How do we find the angle Y? Okay? The process is still the same. We are still going to compare the size or the length of an angle to the sine of its corresponding angle. Okay? The length of a side to the sine of its corresponding angle. And this is how it's going to be. 16 compared to the sine of 61. Okay? 16 compared to the sine of 61. Even this side we are going to say 18 compared to the sine of Y. Okay? Once we are done on this stage, comparing the side to the sine of its angle, the side to the sine of this angle, we cross multiply. So this is going to be 16 sine Y equal to 18 sine 61. We are basically dealing with the same thing. What is our interest? Our interest is sine y. So we are going to get rid of 16 on the left hand side. Get rid of it so that we remain with sine y. Now what do we do when we reach this stage? We are now going to get our calculator again and say 18 sine 61 divided by 16. Okay? Our answer is 0.98394717. Okay? Now, once you reach this value, we are now going to compare or convert this value to an angle. Okay? We are now going to convert this angle or this value to an angle. Remember, it is still on your calculator. All you need to do is to press shift sign, or if you are using a different calculator, second function or second F of sign. So I'll punch shift sign and press equals. And once you do that, it means the sign will be dealt with, and it will now be 79.7, correct one decimal place according to rounding off in mathematics paper 2. Remember, our examination says if your answer is in degrees, leave your answer correct to one decimal place. No wonder I've left my answer correct to one decimal place like that. Very easy. Very easy. So the value of the side, the angle y, is actually 79.7 degrees. Let us look at another one so that we can get the concept fully. Part 2. Let's say this is 21 meters. Let me draw it properly. Let's say this one is 106 degrees, and this one to be y, and then we are given the side here 17 meters. Okay? The same process. We are going to repeat. What we are simply doing here is we are repeating the same process over and over and over. And what is the process? We are comparing the length of the side to the sine of its corresponding angle. Simple. Comparing the length of a side to the sine of its corresponding angle. So we are saying the side 21, we compare it to the sine of 106. The length of the side compared to the sine of its corresponding side. So even here we are saying the length 17, compare it to the sine of its corresponding angle, which is y. Once you have compared like that, cross multiply. Cross multiply. So this is going to be 21 sine y equal to 17 sine 106. Okay? 21 sine y is equal to 17 sine 106. Then we divide by 21 so that we remain with a sine y. 21. So this will remain sine y equal, because these two will cancel. This will now be, we say, punch this on your calculator. So this is going to be 17 sine 106 divided by 21. So this will give me 0.77886423. Okay? Once you have this value, we shall now convert it to an angle. We shall now convert it to an angle. How do we convert? Punch on the button, shift sign, or with those with a sharp calculator, second function sign. And you are going to see something appearing like this. it means you'll have converted it. Once you see that appearing like that, you press equals. So I'm going to say shift sine equals, it will give me my y as 51.09. So correct one decimal place, it will be 0.1, like that. Not difficult. Not difficult. Not very difficult. Not very difficult. We are comparing the side with the sine of the corresponding angle. The last one before we switch to area. The last one before we shift to area. And then we see how we can wrap up for today. I've not dealt with decimals. It's important that we also deal with decimals. 13.2 kilometers. 12.6 kilometers. The angle here is 67. And the angle we are looking for is y. Okay? The same procedure. If we want to find y, we are comparing the side with its corresponding angle. So we say 12.6 over sine 67 is equal to 13.2, compare it with the sine of y. Apparently, why are we doing this? A fraction is a comparison between two things. That's one thing that you must always remember. A fraction is a comparison between two things. So we are comparing this to that. That's why we are doing this. So we say cross multiply. This will be 12.6 sine y equal to 13.2 sine 67. Then we get rid of 12.6 on the left hand side. Okay, we do the same on the right hand side so that our sine y becomes, now you get your calculator and punch this on your calculator and say 13.2 sine 67 divided by 12.6. Okay? When you divide, your answer will be 0.964338417. Okay? Now, once you find this answer, you then convert it to an angle by pressing Shift or second F sine equals. Then our y will become 74.7, correct to one decimal place. This is what sine rule is all about. Comparing the side with the corresponding sine of an angle. Side with the sine of an angle. You simply make fractions in order for you to compare. Now, with this in mind, let us now look at how we can find area. How we can find area. How can we find area of a triangle when you have this type of equation? How can we find area of a triangle when you have this type of equation? Now, remember the condition for area, we learned that our area should be side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. Now, if you have a question like the one we are just from dealing with, we say this is our y, and this is 67. And then we are told this is 12.6, and this is 13.2. And then we are told we need to find the area. Now, when we calculated area, we found that this angle was what? 70.7. Okay? We found that this angle was 74.7. Now, for us to calculate area, we need to use the angle here. This angle. You get the point? Because the formula for area, the condition for area, it should be side, angle, side. Okay? Now, if you look at this situation here, we don't have the angle, side, angle directly. Okay? We do not have the angle, side, directly. This question requires that we must first of all find this angle. Okay? Now, the concept here is that you must always remember that angles in a triangle sum to 180. They add up to 180. Meaning that to find the angle which is here, I'm going to say 180 subtract the sum of 67 plus 74. Let me write it properly. To find this angle, it will be 180 subtract 67 add 74.7. Okay? Now, when we say 180, this one is going to give us, when we add these two, it will be 67 add 74.7. Okay? It will give us 141.7. Subtract it from 180, our answer will be 38.3. So our first step is to find this angle here. And the angle here is 38.3. Once we have found this angle, it is this angle that we are going to use on the value of theta under sine. And then we are going to say our area is going to be half side A, side B, sine theta, which is going to be area equal to, we are going to use this side, this angle, and this side, which is going to be multiplied by 13.2, multiplied by 12.6, multiplied by sine 38.3, like that. Okay? Once you know this, all you do is simply punch 0.5 times 13.2 times 12.6 multiplied by sine 38.3. So my answer will be 51.5408248. Okay? So our area, therefore, will be correct with three significant figures, which will be 51.5 square meters. Depending if you have meters here, then it's going to be square meters, like that. So under area, on this, one point that should be cautious of, you should be able to identify where the angle, should be able to identify that you have the side, angle, side, when you are required to find the area. Okay? Now, once you know how to deal with sine rule, and once you know how to find the area, if you know how to deal with cosine rule, and you know how to deal with area, then there's another part that is critical that you need to know. Shortest distance. Shortest distance. Okay? Shortest distance. Now, shortest distance, us commonly call it shortcut, right? Shortest distance, just a shortcut. We love a lot of shortcuts. Transpassing, yes, that's our nature as Zambians. Transpassing, it's good. Shortcuts. Now, the shortest distance under this topic is simply the height of the triangle. This is the height. The height of a triangle. Now, to find the height of the triangle, there's a condition that you need to know. Number one, you need to know the area of that triangle. You need to have the area of the triangle. Number 2, you need to identify the base of the triangle. So for you to find the area, you should have the following conditions. Number 1, you must know the area. Number 2, you must know the base of the triangle. Okay? Let's look at a comprehensive question. I'll talk about one under cosine rule and the other one under area. So, under cosine rule, I'll say when we have a triangle, let's say this is a triangle, ABC, and then this is 15 meters, this is 13 meters, and the angle here is 76 degrees. Then we'll say, calculate part 1, the area of the triangle. Number 2, the length AC. And number 3, the shortest distance from B to AC. Okay? Why have I talked about cosine rule? Because for me to find shortest distance, I need these two things. Okay? For you to find shortest distance, it is dependent on these two. So I'm going to say, to find the area, we know that area is equal to half side A, side B, sine theta. And our area, remember this is side, angle, side, so it's straightforward. Half times 13 times 15 times sine 76. Okay? Our area, you get your calculator here. You say 0.5 multiplied by 13 multiplied by 15 multiplied by sine 76. Okay? Our answer will be 94.6 square meters, correct to 3 significant figures. Once you know this, the next question, the length, you can see the characteristics of this triangle. To find this length, we are going to use cosine rule. This is going to be side B, side A, and side C. So we are going to say side B square is equal to square of A plus square of C minus 2AC with a cos B. So we replace, this is going to be square of AC equal to 91.6. Let's see, 0.5 multiplied by 13 multiplied by 15 sine 76. Yes, 94.6. This is 76. 76. This is 76. Okay? So our AC, our A is 15 as a square. Our C is 13 as a square. 2 times 15 times 13 with a cos 76. So what we do is that we are going to punch these two. 15 squared add 13 squared. This will give me 394 minus 2 times 15 times 13. This will give me 390. Then with a cos 76. Now, once you have this, don't be tempted to subtract here. Okay, just punch it the way it appears. Okay, by saying 394 minus 390 cos 76. Then this will give me 299.6504607. So you shift. We get rid of this square root. Okay, and our AC here is going to be square root of 299. It will give me 17.3, correct to 1 decimal place. Okay, once you know that, once you have the area and you have the base, okay, look at this condition. The condition says the shortest distance from B to AC. Now, in the exam, in most cases, they use this number as the base. Okay? They use this number as the base. Why? Because it is dependent on, the area is going to be dependent on these two, the shortest distance. If this part is wrong, then the shortest distance must also be wrong. If this part is wrong, then the shortest distance must be wrong. Now, the base as well at times, in most cases, it's defined by two letters, from B to AC. So once you identify that it says from B to AC, they are simply telling you that the height of the triangle is going to meet the line AC at 90 degrees. Okay? Once you know this, we are going to say our area is equal to half base times height. Our area here is 94.6 equal to our half multiplied by 17.3 multiplied by height. Okay? Once you know this, it becomes easy. The best way that you can deal with, you can get rid of this by saying 94.6 multiplied by 2, 17.3 height. Then you divide by 17.3. Divide by 17.3. So that our height, or the shortest distance, will be 94.6 by 2 divided by 17.3. That way. And my answer here is going to be 10.9 meters. Now, this is seen even on this triangle. Look at the side 15, the side here 13, the side here we found 17.3. Now look at the answer we found, 10.9. It is indeed a shortcut because it is the shorter length of all the three sides. That is why it is called the shortest distance. That is why it is called the shortcut. Okay? So with that in mind, let us also look at it, how we can calculate it when we have a triangle that has the characteristics of area. Sine rule. Okay? The sine rule. As we wrap up, what if we have a triangle with the characteristics of sine rule? Let's say this is side 61 and this is side 11.7 meters. This is our angle here, 58. Now let me use this angle. This is our angle here, 72. And then we still want to find the angle, the length. We still want to find the length AC. Okay? So here I'll say with this type of a triangle, I'll say question 1, calculate the length of AC. Part 2, calculate the area of triangle ABC. And part 3, I will talk about the shortest distance. The shortest distance from A, let me change it, from B to AC. Okay? The same procedure. How do we find the length of AC? Okay? The length of AC, you can say that AC here is corresponding with this angle, and the side 11.7 is corresponding with that angle. So we know that we are going to use sine rule in this case. Okay? We are going to use sine rule. So I'm going to compare 11.7, compare it with sine angle 61 equal to the side AC, compare it with the sine angle 72. Okay? Cross multiply. What do we have here? 11.7 sine 72 is equal to AC sine 61. Our interest is AC. Get rid of sine 61 on the right hand side. We do the same on the left hand side. Once you deal with that, you say our AC, punch this on your calculator. 11.7 sine 72 divided by sine 61. This will give me 12.722. So I can round it off correct to 1 decimal place, which is 12.7. Now once you have found this one, we now know that this angle here is 12.7. Okay? How then do we find the area? To find the area, the condition is that once you have the two sides given, we must know this angle here. Okay? The angle that must be used for area in this case is this. Because we have a side, yet we don't have an angle. So our task is to use these two angles to find the missing angle. So to deal with this, we are going to say 180 subtract the sum of 72 and 61. So we are going to say 180, the sum of these two numbers, 72 add 61. This will give me 133. Subtract 180, it will give me 47. So the angle we are going to use is 47 under area. So our area here is going to be, our area will therefore be, area is equal to half, side A, side B, sine theta. Our area is going to be half. The two sides are 11.7 times 12.7 sine 47. So you just punch this on your calculator, 0.5 times 11.7 times 12.7 sine 47. So this will give me area equal to 54.3 as square meters. Now, once you know this, we are going to say, to find the shortest distance, okay, half BH, we have the area, we have the base, AC. So we are going to say, what is the shortest distance? The height now. So we are going to say, our area is 54.3, half. Our base is 12.7 multiplied by the height. So you are going to say 54 times 2 54.3 multiplied by 2. This will give me 108.6 equal to 12.7 height. So what we do here, get rid of 12.7 on the right hand side by dividing. So we divide 108 by 12.7 that way. And our answer will therefore be, our height is going to be 8.6 meters. Shortest distance. Shortest distance. So basically this is what we do when we are dealing with trigonometry. We're just remaining with one more part. Okay, the equivalent angles and special angles. Hopefully in the next lesson we are going to finish so that we can learn on how to deal with this thing. Otherwise for today, thank you so much. Stay home, mask up each time you go out, and don't move unnecessarily. Make sure that all the time you are out of your place. All the time. Let's meet tomorrow.